in the air, so if it goes up in the air, I'm trying to go get it.
Extends and makes the play. Oh, crazy crash into the padded wall.
I don't know how he caught that ball.
Leaps against the wall and makes the catch. Oh, a great play by Dane Myers. Going deep, gap, extends and makes the play.
That's a thing of beauty.
He's fearless going to the wall. I mean, probably like nobody I've ever seen.
Myers going way back, and he makes the catch and slams into the wall. Myers made the play, and his prone shoulder crashed hard into the fence.
Dane Myers has never met a wall that he doesn't like to crash into.
At the wall! Caught! Dane Myers! A spectacular grab to deny a big fly!
What a play by Dane Myers.
The best defensive play of the Reds season!
It was a game saver last night, and as you just saw, it is a highlight reel of catches this season for Dane Myers. So it begs the question, which I put to Dane Myers earlier today, which one is your favorite catch?
I'd probably have to say the one from last night, just given the circumstance and situation in the game. And like we said, like I told you last night, making a play for EP meant a lot for me in that moment. So I definitely choose last night's.
And it probably wasn't your hardest collision into the wall, but was it the absolute circumstance that makes it your favorite?
Yeah, definitely not the hardest. I hit the wall. Wasn't down for the count after that. But, yeah, I mean, given the circumstance, yeah, I think that's what made it most important.
Which one has been the hardest catch to make?
I'd probably say the one in left center in Wrigley. Had a little practice in the one in right center the night before and missed it, but just dealing with the ivy and knowing there's brick behind that, I think that was the toughest one this year.
Myers back in center field tonight. Reds going after their fourth consecutive series victory. Rubber game of 3. Heil Cup on the line as well. John and Barry have the call next.
Sitting in the Hall of Fame, someone called the script. That's the Ohio Cup. Right there in the Reds Hall, Reds and Guardians match up. The cup is on the line. Reds win, they retain it. Guardians win, they take the series and win the cup. Brady Singer to the mound. Could it be for the last time as a Red? Trading deadline is on Monday. He is a free agent after the year. He is the subject of tonight's Papa John's key ingredients. What a turnaround it's been for Singer.
It has been about the command of his sinker. And you look, early in the season, there wasn't a lot of, let's just say, command or conviction. I believe over the last 10, he really has decided, I am going to establish that heater really on the inside part of the plate. He's been exceptional with it. He's been very aggressive. He's thrown a lot of strikes early in the count. He's been really, really good.
Well, Singer will try to solve the riddle that is Cleveland, a former divisional brother from his days as a Kansas City Royal. He has opposed the Guardians a lot. You saw how he's turned it around against lefties. 8 of the 9 Guardians will bat left-handed against him, including their switch hitters. They have struggled, losing 6 of 7. Juan Ramirez, DeLauder, Bazzana, Rocchio, Manzardo, Arias, Bailey, and Halpin. Juan is among the many that have had success against Singer. First pitch is a miss as we are underway. Juan has been on base in 16 straight this year. Lifetime against Singer, hitting .333. Now, Singer did face Cleveland mid-May. Up in Cleveland. Gave up 5 runs that day in 4 innings. Home runs were a huge part of the problem. He allowed 3. That's a season high, done twice. DeLauder took him deep. Manzardo took him deep. Rocchio took him deep. But this seems to be a different Brady Singer.
Yeah, I would say yes, he does seem to be very different. Realizing that the trade deadline is coming up, obviously, but it really has not affected him in a negative way.
To left field, Sunball, Ivan Johnson had no issues. Reds defense, some try help. Johnson's second start at left field. It's where he played the most in the minors. Dane Myers, Noelvi Marte round out the outfield. Hayes, De La Cruz, Arroyo, Stewart, and Stevenson.
Just to finish the thought on Brady Singer, I feel like he's just been very aggressive. I think veteran pitchers at some particular point during the season, they say, oh, boy, okay, boys, this is how we're going to go down the road. Now, he's not that vocal leader. He's a leader by example. And I truly believe that, we're seeing Chase Burns be better with his pitch efficiency, with more aggressiveness. And I think veteran players like Brady Singer rub off on these younger pitchers. So his impact is not just what you see on the mound. There's plenty of impact he makes in that clubhouse.
And I think you make a great point, and that pitch efficiency has been right there lock in step with his success. Jose Ramirez is a tough out for anyone. He's 2 for 9 on the series, a run scored, 5 for 25 since coming off the IL. All of the 5 hits have been singles. But he lifetime against Singer, 387 with 3 home runs. To right field, Noelvi Marte. The breaking balls for Singer, Lark, have been down more often, and they've had some bite and finish down.
I think they just play better because I truly believe that he stands up those hitters, really against the left-handed hitters. He stands them up with the ability to throw that sinker right at their right hip. And that makes them have to respect inside. Now you go off speed. Listen, when you're thinking about a pitch on the inside part of the plate, that is a sinker. You've got to clear your hips so you can allow your hands to get to it because you don't have space. Once he puts it in your mind that you're considering that or you're concerned with it, it certainly throws off your timing on anything that's off speed. And I agree. I think his off speed works because of his command of that sinker.
Sinker got strike 1 and chased a Lauder. 1 for 7, a sac fly yesterday. Bouncer against the grain, foul. DeLauder went over in game 2 yesterday. That halted his on-base streak at 18 games. Rolled to second. Arroyo under his backhand. Base hit for DeLauder.
DeLauder right back up the middle. A lot of times nowadays that ball's right into the teeth of the defense.
Now Travis Bazzana, 2 for 6, a couple of walks in the series. In his last 7 games, he's 4 for his last 24.
There's that pitch right there.
Lower third, inner third.
Yep.
The amount of times that he edges the plate with that sinker in.
He got a lot of the plate on that one. See if it goes back in there. There it is. That was kind of a miss. That was up at the top of the zone in the middle of the plate. Watching Steve-O behind the dish, he got right up underneath the hands of Bazzana. Get it in there. There it is.
Popped him up. Hayes. A scoreless first for Singer.
Healthcare.
Reds 9 from St. Elizabeth Healthcare. They seek a 4th straight series win out of the break. Ellie and Sal 1-2. Dane Myers a chance to hit 3. Eugenio Suarez, Tyler Stevenson, Noelvi Marte, Ivan Johnson fresh off his first major league base hit, Edwin Arroyo and Ke'Bryan Hayes. It's the second matchup this year between the Reds and lefty Joey Cantillo.
5-pitch pitcher, the lefty. You notice where he sets up on the mound. He is on the extreme third base side of the mound. It's a four-seam fastball, curveball, and a changeup, just trying to create an angle. He is way over there.
Facing switch hitter Ellie De La Cruz, who has mashed against left-handed pitching. First time in Ellie's career he had a multi-homer game. Came against Cleveland. That was in Cleveland late in his rookie year, 2023. Backdoor miss.
John, I think it's interesting to see Cantillo, a left-hander, be all the way on the third base side of the rubber. Now, I've seen left-handed pitchers go to the first base side of the rubber to create that angle because they're left-handed, or that ball's coming from like second base, if you will. But I don't recall seeing many lefties go to the third base side of the rubber because the arm is now coming right down straight, right down the middle of the plate.
And he gets De La Cruz looking.
Whatever it is, a bit of giddy up on that fastball.
It's something that he's done from his amateur days. He also has a more extreme arm angle. It's one that's progressively come down over the years by about a degree a year. Tosses a curveball strike to Sal Stewart. Sal had 3 ribbies, a homer, a couple of hits yesterday. Snaps a fastball for a strike. Cantillo hails from Hawaii. He was the state's Gatorade Baseball Player of the Year in 2017. Was set to go to the University of Kentucky, but declined as a 16th rounder. He got 5th round money, got $300,000 when the Padres took him in 2017. Stephen Kwan shading his eyes and left, a miss down and in. He was traded at the end of July 2020 to Cleveland. It was part of a giant 9-player deal. Josh Naylor went to Cleveland. Mike Clevenger went to the Padres. They were the big names. Did not debut in the bigs until late July 2024. That was in Philadelphia. He was more of a part-time starter last year. Walks have been a concern on his year and career. He's walking almost 4.5 men per 9. Among men at 100 innings, only the Pirates' Bubba Chandler is walking men at a higher rate than Cantillo. And what's he do well? He limits hard contact. Line drive rate is down a lot from last year to this. Ground ball rate's up some. He gets excellent extension. He's top 5% in the sport with how late and close to the plate he releases the ball. Stewart slaps it to right.
And he just continues to make real-time adjustments. Off-speed breaking ball, 2 strikes. Let it get deep. Maintain your balance. Just shoot it the other way. What a season Sal Stewart is having.
Now Dane Myers, base hit, a walk, a run scored in game 2 yesterday. Had that thrilling catch to end it. When the Reds saw Cantillo May 16th, he gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, including Dane Myers' home run. Stewart hops a larger lead. And the Reds ran on Cantillo that day. They were 3 for 3 trying to steal, 2 by Blake Dunn, and 1 by Sal Stewart.
You talked about the Dane Myers home run. Well, Apo Taco here. Ball out over the plate. Stretch him.
Seeing a lot of breaking balls here. When the Reds saw him in mid-May, he was leaning on his fastball a lot more. He used it almost half the time. That usage has dropped dramatically. That's where he's allowed most of the homers this year. That is smoked left field. Kwan has to play it on a bounce. Line drive for Myers. He continues to mash lefties. 2-on.
Yeah, Dane Myers has just really consistently given himself a really nice chance to compete. He's got that little leg kick. I talked to him about that in spring training. He said that was more of a timing mechanism for him to allow him to clear his hips. The ball was wrapped at 100 off the bat. Another nice base hit.
Stewart hopped a huge lead. Breaking ball strike on the edge to Eugenio Suarez. Gino trying to snap it 0 for 12. Struck out twice in game 1 yesterday. Stewart flinches, trying to grab Cantillo's attention. Then he felt the creeping areas. No throw, but a disengagement. Cantillo is named after Joe DiMaggio. His dad, Johnny, is from New York, served as a naval officer. It was part of how the family wound up in Hawaii. Joey was born and raised there. His dad of Sicilian and Irish descent, and he loved Joe D. So he named his son Joey.
See Sal Stewart trying to get a jump out there at second base. I thought the last pitch prior to this one, thought he was going to go. He seemed to time it up really well. Working hard at every phase of the game. Just have to continue to work. If you're on base, it's not a, okay, knock me in. It's, let me try to get myself an extra 90.
Check swing, appeal. He did not go. And throughout this time, Dane Myers has his eyes on Sal Stewart. He's checking in with Colin Cowgill. Willie Harris between pitches has often been hand signaling. On the edge, strike 3.
Command of the fastball. Right on the inner edge. I guess that's why he's on that third base side of the rubber.
Tyler Stevenson, couple of hits. Ribby doubled in game 1 yesterday. Takes a first pitch changeup strike. Can you name, Lark, the top 3 Reds position players in WAR, according to Baseball Reference? I think the first 2 are pretty easy.
Yeah, Ellie and Sal. And
right.
Number 3, Steve-O?
Tyler Stevenson.
Right.
He's the 3rd highest WAR among Reds position players. Team leader, by the way, both sides is Chase Burns, who has been incredible. Large leads for both runners. Now Cantillo trying to show it cool, and the body language has been that, but that breaking ball dove way down, and Stevenson saw it as a ball seemingly the whole way. Base is empty, the league strong. Man on, only a slight dip. Men in scoring position and scoring position, 2 outs. He can bear down. And he strikes out Stevenson. In his last 3, Brady Singer has given the Reds length. He he's gotten ahead often.
Yeah, best pitch in baseball is strike one. You can see he's done a really nice job of establishing that during this good Brady Singer run.
All 3 starts, he went at least 6 2/3 innings. Brian Rocchio fouls off strike one. Now, oddly, that's his first pitch strike tonight, but he was 1-2 on all 4 Cleveland hitters in the opening inning.
And very aggressive, pitching ahead in the count.
Now, Rocchio had a ribby with his well-executed bunt yesterday. 13 knocked in his last 17 games. While he has not seen Singer nearly as much as, say, Kwan and Ramirez, when he's gone head-to-head, he is 4 for 4 entering today with a home run. Just missed.
Really good pitch. That location right there is the sweet spot, I believe, for Brady Singer. So that little slider, as well as a sinker, just in that little area right there. When he's dotting that, very tough.
Two. Called away. In the air, right field, Marte. Oh, 1 down, and now Kyle Manzardo. Pinch hit in the 6th in game 2. Went 0 for 1, hit by pitch. Game 1, though, opening inning, he launched a grand slam. Greatly informed that game.
After he was hit on the back of the hand with the challenge, and bring him back here and led to the grand slam.
On the edge, strike.
Yeah, this was a breaking ball that was just left out over the plate. I'm going to tell you what, though, after that, Chase Burns righted the ship and gave the team a chance to win. They took the lead later in the day. Couldn't hold it.
And Manzardo's been a tough matchup for Singer. 6 for 9, 4 extra base hits. One of those a homer. Tight target from Stevenson. Check swing seemed to go. No appeal needed. Struck him out.
There it is again. It's that slider on the inside part of the plate, because he throws that sinker there. This time it's not going over the plate. It's coming towards your foot.
First pitch just down. Gabriel Arias. Off the mound, skips to left center. Two-out single. Switch hitting Patrick Bailey. 0 for 5 in the doubleheader. He pinch hit in the 9th and struck out in game 2. And the misses have been minuscule for Singer.
Yes, they have. There's something to be said about pitching with conviction. When you set up to throw the ball away, if you miss away. You set up to throw the ball in. If you miss in. You don't miss over the plate. You can't set up in and miss away. Set up away and miss in. Just can't happen. Those are the mistakes that get knocked out the ballpark. I feel like on this run, Brady has done a really nice job of missing to the glove side, wherever that is.
That's where we've seen jam contact. Ground balls have picked up for Singer. Strikeouts are up a little bit as well. He had trouble finishing hitters with 2 strikes when he struggled in those first couple of months. He's been able to get the hitter, whether by K or by batted ball contact, in the last couple of months.
Yeah. He is imposing his will in his own way out there. And I think that's what you respect most about Brady Singer.
Count goes full. Arias not held on. He goes with a payoff. Bounced foul. Runner off. Called a ball, just missed. First walk for Singer, couple of 2-out runners. Now Petey Halpin snapped at 0 for 13 with a base hit in game 1. Finished the doubleheader 2 for 6.
And almost tied it up with that smash off Emilio Pagan. Dane Myers went up against the wall. And God, I don't think that ball was out of the ballpark, but he gave it a good ride.
Halpin's also played a pretty center field himself. It's been impressive in this short set.
So do we have an obvious player of the series?
A mop?
A mop.
A most outstanding player?
A mop. I didn't want to go mop, but since you went mop, I'll go mop. Do we have a mop?
Dane Myers, you can make a compelling argument. Kyle Manzardo's had some big numbers. I also have to ask, do you think a player can win it if his team loses the series? Or loses the hardware?
Yes, but he has to be so obviously much better than any and everyone else.
There's a lot of men have played well. Terry Francona should be the mop. He's trying to make it a dozen straight Ohio Cups between his time at Cleveland and now at Cincinnati. He's got the better of Stephen DeVoe last year. 2-2 uppercutted. Myers coming on. Marte as well. Myers the call and the catch. Bop, bop, bop. All day long. Somewhere Adam Sandler. Little smile. Our Barres storylines. Hunt pitches early against Joey Cantillo.
Be aggressive because he's throwing pitches early in the count, trying to get strike one. There's been some damage done when you're aggressive early.
Welby Marte swings early. 0 for 3 yesterday, but you saw something in his final out when he hit a driving low liner to right field.
Yeah, I think that has to be the result, is obviously what I was looking at, but it was really the approach that he's had. A lot of times we've seen during this little run that right there kind of across the ball swing. We call it scissoring. Right, so his back leg goes behind his front leg when he swings. When he drove that ball to right field yesterday, he stayed in his posture, stayed on both legs, and really stayed behind the baseball. When I saw him down in AAA, that's what he was working on. And we were working on him staying, keeping his posture, and staying through the baseball, getting a bad hit to the ball as opposed to pulling the ball with his body across the ball.
And the Guardians are playing him extreme pull. They're playing him right now like they and many teams play Eugenio Suarez. Ramirez tighter to the chalk. Rocchio squeezing that 5-6 hole.
On the ground.
Yes.
On the ground pull. In the outfield, fairly straight up.
Now the Cleveland outfield has shown some extreme,
yes, they have,
extreme variations opposite way with some right-handed hitters. About as extreme as I've ever seen. Swung through, foul tip, strike 3. Now Ivan Johnson, who made history yesterday.
IJ waiting for that first career base hit. Little Choopy gets that ball. Give it a kiss, young man. Yes, sir.
Came in the 5th inning. Reds scored eventually in that inning. Won the game 2-0. And Jim Day, you had a chance to catch up with Ivan.
Yeah, and he talked about that very moment. He said he was in the moment. The 12-year-old Ivan got the weight off his back. And make no mistake, when you go a minute and you don't get that first hit, there is a weight on your back. And he said he did this as much for his teammates as he did for himself because he knew they would get a chuckle out of it as well. I asked him what he's going to do with the ball, and he said, it's going to Dad. This has been our dream. To me, it's just a hit. A hit is a hit, but it will mean way more to him. He deserves the ball. We've been tossing and playing baseball since he was 4 years old. So that ball, going to Pops.
Well, I love that ball's going to Pops, but a hit is not just a hit. I'm sorry. That first major league hit is some kind of special and always will be.
Do you remember yours?
I do. I do. And I think Pops has it as well. Well, Pops is no longer around, but Mom's has it now.
Swing and a miss. That's 4 straight strikeouts for Cantillo.
I can see now why Cantillo likes to work on that third base side. So he is throwing this breaking ball and the pitches in on these right-handed hitters. So a few guys likes to work to that third base side up the dish. Cheat, cheat, cheat.
Middle fastball to Edwin Arroyo.
Yeah, you got to let that one go if you're cheating in. Got to let that one go. There you go.
Game 1 yesterday, 1 for 4 at RBI. Contact has sloughed off a bit the last few games.
I'll tell you what I like about Edwin Arroyo. I like that he's giving you competitive at-bats from both sides.
Bounce beyond short, base hit.
Nice job right there. And he's aggressive. You can always slow this down. There is an aggressiveness that has to come along with young baseball players. You cannot be passive and wait to see a strike to swing. You have to be assuming you're swinging until your eyes tell you you're not going to swing, as opposed to wait to see a strike and then try to swing. He has that element in him. Sal Stewart has that in him. And then it's a matter of being more disciplined with your experience that you have to kind of slow that down and make better swing decisions.
Counted in on Key Brian Hayes. 0 for 3 yesterday, all strikeouts. Since coming back from the IL, 4 for 25, 8 Ks, 1 walk. Arroyo takes off. Breaking ball missed. Throw down. Not in time. First major league steal for Edwin Arroyo.
Edwin Arroyo talked about the aggressiveness. Plenty of foot speed. Got a good jump. You can see the flow. He's got plenty of flow out there.
That is very true. Rio strike to Hayes. Full count. In the air, right center field. Halpin deep track has it. Come cheer on the Reds. They take on the Pirates. 4-game set starts tomorrow. Presented by Hawksworth. Get tickets now. Reds.com/tickets. Oh, look at the drip there.
Yes, sir.
Do you think I need to add that to my game? I got the hat, right? Should I add the chain?
You could do the chain.
You could do the chain.
You could do the chain.
Oh, that's a good point. Producer Josh suggests the Skyline co-branded hat as the chain hat, and maybe instead of like that red drip, we just make it Skyline chili that's coming down the hat. One Stephen Kwan, who is lined to left. Hey, you were making Skyline observations with Cleveland radio legend Tom Hamilton at dinner tonight.
Yeah, we were talking about Cincinnati's finest.
Base hit to left. That's the first Guardian to reach with less than 2 outs. A leadoff hit for Kwan. A lot of chain.
A lot of chain gang tonight. Not the turnover chain. What is it? Football is the turnover chain. What is it in baseball?
I think it's just bling, man.
Just
I
the
think
bling,
it's just
the drip.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, when I see the chains like that, it goes back to my boyhood. And remember the Junkyard Dog, JYD?
I do. The Junkyard Dog.
In there for a strike. Jose Ramirez is lined to right. First wrestling show I ever went to, Lark. My dad took me to the Meadowlands. Junkyard Dog was supposed to be the headliner.
JYD. Yep.
And right before the main event, I saw the Brooklyn Brawler and all the undercard guys. It was a good show. We had good seats. I'm very grateful. I was 7 years old, whatever I was. So excited to be at a show. Attention fans, we apologize. Due to unforeseen circumstances, Junkyard Dog is not available tonight.
Oh, no.
Sent to center field. Myers coming on. Base hit Ramirez. Kwan shuts it down. Throw overshoots Ellie to Hayes at third. In his place, Coco Beware.
Coco Beware.
Remember Coco?
Yes,
the bird?
indeed.
Yeah. So, it was a decent consolation prize.
Yeah. So it didn't incentivize you to follow that? You didn't aspire to be one of those guys at that point?
I loved watching it.
Yeah. I can see you coming off the top rope.
To definitely not be a wrestler. I'd be a bad look as a manager. We're talking about Bobby Brain Heenan Company here.
That would be Jim Day. Jim Day. That would be Jimmy.
Jim Day would be an excellent pro wrestling announcer,
100%.
manager.
I miss my calling on that. Here's a fun fact. I once took a spine buster from JYD on a local news segment.
Whoa! This is the first I've ever learned of this one.
Yes.
Goldberg came to town here. We were playing the Braves. and he full body pressed me over his head in the clubhouse.
Oh my gosh!
And I was quite comfortable up there. I mean, totally over top of his head. Just had me up there, and I was like, fairly comfortable. It's fairly comfortable up here.
Was that agreed to, or he just scooped you up?
Yeah, no, it was agreed to.
Chase DeLauder's got a base hit so far, jammed, fouls it away. Jim, you came through okay? Were there any injuries?
No, there was not. Although if you don't land properly, I found out it's pretty real. But they were doing a local show, and we were setting it up, and I said, I need you guys to beat me up at the end of this to make this really real. It was him and Doink the Clown. And they went after me, and I ended up taking signature move from JYD at the end of the sportscast. Beautiful.
It's real to me, darn it. It's real to me. Up and in, full count.
Yeah, I didn't quite land properly. We kind of went over before.
Got to make sure you tuck.
Three-two. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Singer. Our UC Health pitch tracks.
Chase DeLauder was trying to cheat right there. I believe simply because Brady Singer has shown the ability to throw that ball down and into the lefties. Looked like he was trying to clear his hips. Chase went out of the zone.
It's now Travis Bazzana, who is popped to third. Center field, Myers has to play it on a bounce. Stop sign at third. Strong throw in. Gets to the plate on a hop. But now the bases are loaded.
Yeah, 3 singles in the inning. And you talk about Dane Myers and a strong arm. I mean, he throws a strike to the dish. Very easy call for that third base coach to stop that runner.
Throw was at 92. Myers, one of the best outfield arms. Now Rocchio, who is fly to right. He executed a bunt to drive in a run in yesterday's action. Lifted left side. De La Cruz and Hayes. Hayes in foul ground has it. A big pop out induced by Singer. Now we'll try to leave him loaded against a man who mashed bases full yesterday.
And Manzardo went deep. The bases drunk in the first. Put 4 on the board. Little hanging slider from Chase Burns.
That was Manzardo's first career grand slam. That runs in. You mentioned originally there was a pitch that was called hit by pitch that pushed in 1 run. Reds challenged and won the challenge. Bouncer, Arroyo against the grain. Got it. In tonight's Toyota Tundra Home Run Challenge, Jesse Enlow from the land, Loveland, Ohio, will win a brand new built in the USA Tundra if a red hits the Toyota Hit and Win sign. Register for your chance to win at any Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. Ellie De La Cruz struck out looking his first time. First pitch bounced to third. Darting in Ramirez on the run. With a stretch, Manzardo stays on. Time now for our Yellowwood bringing the lumber, the Rook, Sal Stewart.
Such a good season for Sal Stewart. Anytime you're on the board with Joey Votto and Mr. Frank Robinson. Spencer Steer on that board as well.
Stewart is singled, a 2-strike pitch to right.
Sal's been swinging such a good bat. Saw him before the game, early in the day, visualizing, getting himself into good hitting position. He's out there in his street clothes, out by himself. Just kind of going through the motion of where he wants to be at the plate. Showed up in the game, hit the ball out the ballpark.
Stewart gets time. Young lady has the souvenir. High five. More recently, Cantillo has pitched a lot more off speed. We've seen that here tonight some as well. Up and away. Lost the handle on that fastball. Leaning on the curveball tonight. Away. Foul tip, strike 3.
A challenge fastball, middle. A lot of times when this ball is middle, you don't know what to do with it. Ball away, you hit it away, ball in, you pull it. What do you do with the ball right down the middle? That was something we used to talk about with Vladimir Guerrero Sr. So they throw Vladdy right down the middle. Because if you throw it anywhere around the periphery, he's going to destroy the ball. But if you throw it right down the middle, it's kind of hard to do for many pitchers, at least intentionally. He doesn't know what to do with it. I remember I talked to him about that. He was like, you're right. Ball away. Kirby Puckett the same way. Ball away, I'm going to hit it away. Ball inside, I'm going to pull it. I'm not quite sure what I do. I'm kind of indecisive on the ball right down the middle. I'm not sure if I hit it up the middle, hit it the other way, or pull it.
What a quirky game.
Yeah.
Were there any other outstanding bad ball hitters you came across? Vlad certainly always gets that career reputation.
Let's see, bad ball hitters. He's the only guy that really stands out for me right now as we're sitting and talking about it.
Someone on the Reds farm that I heard secondhand has that kind of ability.
Hector Rodriguez.
Right?
Is that who you're referring to?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes that just means you swing a lot. And, you know, Vladdy would take his walks. I think the question with Hector is whether or not he can lay off the balls that aren't strikes.
Myers to right, top of the order in order.
So I hammered the rudder.
Elk and Elk injury report for tonight. You always fear the worst when it's an elbow injury. How many times have you heard UCL followed by Tommy John surgery? That looked like the scene last night. But Jose Franco got good news today. It's a flexor mass injury. Structurally, he's fine. It's the best case scenario, even though he's not going to throw for at least 2 weeks. But he will take that, barring what it could have been. So good news for Jose Franco today.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Jim. What about Nick Lodolo? Has he thrown recently, and what's on the horizon?
Yeah, he threw another bullpen yesterday, and he is set to face hitters on Friday. They say the blister reacted well to yesterday's bullpen, and again, he's been experimenting with grips for a curveball or breaking ball, and that's going to be a work in progress. Here's some video of it yesterday, but progressing well, and Friday will be a big step to face hitters.
From the outfield grass, long throw, Stewart swipe, got him!
Really nice play by Sal Stewart, picking this ball up out of the dirt. Ellie deciding to go back on this ball and then just showing the leverage, the ability to leverage the ball across the diamond when you don't have time to set your feet. That's when those long limbs pay off.
There are a few that can deliver throws like that.
Yeah.
That may be the best stretch and pick we've seen of Sal at first base.
Yeah, Sal did a really nice job getting out there, picking that ball up.
I've seen him pick it, but not stretching at the same time like that.
I think the more he gets out there a chance to play, the better he'll get. Because it's a read, and you just got to go through that. He does a nice job of finding the bag and working through it.
Missed down to Bailey, who walked his first time. Any updates, Jim, on Spencer Steer or Blake Dunn?
Blake Dunn is in Dallas today. He is seeing a specialist there, and if he gets the same news that he got in Cincinnati, look for him to possibly have surgery coming up next week, and that would be Tommy John surgery, which is devastating. Spencer Steer Friday, he's going to see a hand and wrist specialist in Arizona. Spencer's still here right now, so that again situation is up in the air, but they do nice play. They do believe that it can possibly heal on itself as far as Steer goes, but that's going to be his decision.
Well, we just saw Sal Stewart make a nice pick, and now ranging to his right, making a nice stab on the ball that took a high bounce. Good feed to Brady Singer. Smooth.
Couple of ground ball outs. Now Halpin, who has flied to center. When you're playing every day, as Sal is, and he's being leaned on so heavily offensively, he's a rookie. This is driven to left. Ivan Johnson fading back. He's got it. We'll continue that in a bit. Bottom third in rapid succession against Singer. Chart-topping artist and producer Marshmello comes to Great American Ballpark Friday. Cheer on the Reds. They take on the Pirates. Enjoy the ultimate dance set of pop, country, and Latin hits after the game. Get tickets at reds.com/concerts. Eugenio Suarez struck out looking his first time. Get your popcorn ready. Trying to snap now at 0 for 13. Appeal no go. Well, it's now a time plus 3-man through for Joey Cantillo. You said fairly early you recognized why he's setting up extreme third base side. Appeal again, says he went. What else have you noticed about Cantillo, who has so far shut out the Cincinnati Reds?
You talked about it. More breaking balls. Seen the fastball occasionally here and there, but it seems almost as if he is pitching off the breaking ball. He is living on the inside part of the plate, but throwing enough strikes on the outside where you can't vacate and go away from it. And backdoor breaking ball has been good. He's thrown fastballs out there, but he certainly has established inside. I always think about why a pitcher does what he does. Looking at him on the third base side of that rubber, and that's a miss to the arm side. Much easier to miss to the glove side. So the inside part of the plate is where he's been living.
Ripped to third by Jose Ramirez, base hit.
The ball was blistered. And Jose Ramirez, I don't know if he was indecisive on whether or not to try to get in front of this ball or not. He didn't have much time to make a decision. He called it the hot corner for a reason.
Suarez on for Tyler Stevenson. Struck out swinging his first time. Foul. One thing I wonder, when you see a starter throwing this many curveballs, can he sustain it? Can you throw 30 curveballs, 40 curveballs, 50 curveballs?
Well, obviously, if the arm can withstand it, but it's the location of the curveball. Right. So if you traditionally throw a curveball for a strike and you miss, it hangs up over the plate. You don't have as much depth. That's one thing. But because he throws so far to the inside part of the plate with that curveball, if it misses, it's still a ball. If you hit it well, you pull it foul. So the answer would be yes. It's all about the location.
Up and away. And that's where we've seen him a few times with 2 strikes. It happened back-to-back against Sal Stewart. Just lost that fastball arm side up and away.
That's right. He throws just enough pitches on the outside part of the plate to get you having to respect it out there, so that that curveball that he hangs on the inside part of the plate right there gets fouled off. He's got a plan.
Blocked by Bailey.
Now, what Tony Perez would tell you to do is go up there, and when he gets ready to deliver the ball to the plate, take one step back towards the outside part of the batter's box. And now that ball that's on the inside part of the plate is over the middle. Obviously can't do that with 2 strikes. And that's how you, when you have a pitcher that is trying to establish a part of the plate and so drastically on the inside part for a strike, get your toe hold and you take a little step to give yourself a little more room. See, if you do that, that ball right there is now in the middle of the plate and you don't pull it foul.
You don't see hitters move around in the box nearly as much anymore.
You don't.
Doesn't sound like it would work, though.
Yeah. But you don't see many pitchers pitching on the inside part of the plate either.
That's also a fair point. It's its own lost art.
Yep.
It's gone full here on Stevenson. Remember Cantillo on his year in career. A lot of issues with walks. The Reds have not drawn one yet tonight. Fouled back.
Good at bat. That was the cutter on the outside part of the plate. He's definitely pitching to both sides. Effectively pitching to both sides. Nice.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Challenger.
Patrick Bailey hunting for a strikeout. Stevenson walks.
The call is confirmed. Cleveland has 1 challenge remaining.
A 10-pitch walk engineered by Tyler Stevenson.
I don't know that I've ever seen Noelvi Marte do it, but perfect time right now for a little drag bunt. Lefty probably going to throw you inside. Struggling as a hitter. You got speed. Third baseman's not playing you in, thinking he's going to bunt. It wouldn't be an awful idea.
0-2. And Marte is one of the Reds' most athletic, faster players as well.
And I think that bunt, regardless of who you are, whatever kind of power you have, that bunt, just that bunt alone in your arsenal is just it's so important to have. Because when you struggle as a hitter, the one thing that never goes into a slump is speed. You can put the ball on the ground, Marte can fly. It just makes the defense make a mistake.
Oh, launched to left center by Marte. Up against the wall, Stephen Kwan. Runners were both halfway. One down.
That's a good swing right there. I thought he got it a little bit out in front.
Four-time Gold Glover Stephen Kwan has made his own share of nice plays this series.
Yeah, he has.
There goes the bat. Look out. Strike one on Ivan Johnson, who struck out his first time. Adding the netting down that far, one of the smartest things they've done in the game.
I would agree.
Smothered by Bailey. Halpin hopping to stay loose in center. Johnson takes a just low changeup. Colin Cowgill just pointed to the Cleveland outfield, talking to Tyler Stevenson. Curveball swung through. All the Cleveland outfielders go to their cards. Kwan takes about 6 steps to his right. Halpin is going from right center all the way over just off the gap at left center. Check swing. Did he go? No.
I think that's interesting, and I've seen that a few times. Guys, when you're behind in the count with 2 strikes, you would think that a hitter would become a little more defensive, and so therefore let the ball get a little more deeper, so defensively you would play them the opposite way. I've seen so many more times where guys are going to the pull side with 2 strikes on the hitter.
Johnson walks bases, or excuse me, goes down looking. Our Jake Sweeney Chevy pitch tracks.
Yeah, just a really good pitch right on the outside part of the plate. Joey Cantillo has shown the ability to throw pitches on both sides. Definitely have to give him some credit.
It's up to Edwin Arroyo, who has singled and stolen a bag. And Lark, this series, I feel like Cleveland moves its outfield more dramatically, batter to batter, and at times pitch to pitch, than just about any outfield the Reds have seen this year.
Well, we just saw Halpin in left center field, and now he's in right center field. And he's probably 20 yards away from where he was. I would agree. That left center gap just wide open. But based on the way that Cantillo pitches, as drastic as he is on the inside part of the plate, if you are a right-handed hitter and you hit it, you're probably going to pull it. Or that backdoor breaking ball, you're probably going to hit it to right field.
Two balls and one strike on Arroyo.
I think it's always interesting to see where the outfield is playing in relation to the infield. Right, so you're playing them to pull on the ground and in the air the other way. Or you're playing them to pull in the air and on the ground the other way. There's a method to the madness.
Two on, two out. 2-2. Swing and a miss. That's 8 strikeouts for Joey Cantillo. He strains 2 more Reds. Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by Jake Sweeney Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. By Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. And by Bet365, where winning is everything. Cup is on the line tonight, the Ohio Cup. Reds and Guardians, final matchup of the regular season. Scoreless still, now in the 5th. 5 hits for the Guardians, 4 for the Reds. Brady Singer fires strike 1. He starts 3rd time through against Stephen Kwan. Sword, strike. Kwan is lying to left. He is singled to left. Now on base in 17 straight games. Opposite way. Backhand De La Cruz ate him up some. Kwan is on. No hitter in the game goes opposite way for a hit more than Stephen Kwan.
He hits this ball pretty well. It just looks like it just jumped up on Ellie a little bit. Ellie was there. That second bounce, little up the glove. You know how they score that one.
Sounds like E6.
That's a tough one.
Away to Jose Ramirez, who is lined to right. He is singled. Called strike. See the twist of the head by Ramirez. They are down a challenge. Bailey burned one a few innings ago. To De La Cruz. Flip to Arroyo. Save. What happened there?
Well, it looked like Arroyo got to the bag late. I'm not quite sure. No, it looked like Ellie was going to go right to the flip from the glove. And Arroyo just did not get to the bag. He was a good distance away. And it looks like he just took a bad angle to get to the bag. You want to try to get around the bag if you have time. He didn't have time. Obviously, just never got there.
Do you think he was angling because he thought Ellie was going to take that on his own?
There's a possibility, but you can't assume that it's going to be the case.
Scored a fielder's choice. Into the Lauder, who has a base hit and a strikeout. Now, Arroyo is a converted shortstop, second base, not a long-time native position. And he's a rookie, still getting his feet wet relatively in the big leagues. Playing with a more defined superstar in Ellie De La Cruz. there was a fluidity when Matt McClain was playing second, who's had a lot more games and reps with Ellie. They overlapped and came up together in the minors. It just feels a little more jagged or uneven.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think it's unfair. It's certainly not a finished product in Edwin Arroyo at second base. Will that be his long-term position? I'm not quite sure. But he's learning. Just hasn't had the reps there. It's tough. I do know this. Double play situation, I'm watching his position, and he's so far away from the bag. Now, that has to do with defensive positioning. That has to do with coaching. And I believe one of the reasons he wasn't able to get to that bag is because he was so far away. Now, you have to give up one or the other. Look how far he is away from second base. I mean, this is a double play. Now, assuming that Jose Ramirez is going to pull the ball, but if he hits the ball the other way, which he does, now it's a foot race with the runner at first base to try to get to second base because you're so far away.
Yep. This down here to Bazana. So the Guardians, who in the third inning had 3 hits, failed to score, do not have a hit this inning. Error, odd fielder's choice, walk, bases loaded. Bazana has singled, popped out to left field. Johnson on a bounce. Break from third by Kwan. He scores. Throw cut by Hayes. Cleveland takes a 1-0 lead.
No, Bazana doing what he does. Brady Singer leaving that sinker out over the plate. I don't believe that was the location he was looking for. He's been excellent with that sinker down and into those lefties. That one out over the plate, and you can see the difference in location. You miss out over the plate, as I said before. Major league hitters just don't miss it.
Now that run unearned. Kwan had reached on error to begin the inning. But nobody out. And now you got to deal with Brian Rocchio, who is fly to right. He is foul popped to third. Stephen Vogt's squad that has struggled significantly to score. Worst scoring offense. Last in many categories. Slug as well. Called strike. Now Singer in a bind, having surrendered only 1 hit so far this inning. Dribbled foul. Caleb Ferguson is up in the Reds bullpen. Swing and a miss, strikes him out.
Chasing a slider down below the zone. Brady Singer understanding that these Guardians have struggled to score runs. They're going to probably be a little more aggressive, expanding the zone.
Now Manzardo, who has struck out, grounded out. Well, the Guardians so far today 2 for 6 with men in scoring position. They had been 3 for their last 44 with men in scoring position entering this game. Shut out 3 of their last 4, including game 2 yesterday.
Little anxiety in there when runners are in scoring position because we haven't scored runs. We got to try to do a little extra. Take advantage of that by throwing a little bit further out the zone and see if you can get a chase.
3-0. We have seen some 3-0 swings from Cleveland on this short series. A takedown, bases loaded, walk, 2-0. Well, the Reds pitching staff has now issued 20 walks bases loaded this year. That's the most in team history, going back to at least 1961. Arias swing and miss. He is singled. He is grounded out. That was a nice play by De La Cruz to begin the fourth. Stevenson handles. Well, yesterday, Manzardo got his first career grand slam. That was his first bases loaded walk. 1-2. Can Singer keep it to 2? Just south of 100 pitches by now. Ferguson likely ready in the bullpen. Way wide, barely handled by Stevenson, who has improved dramatically as a blocking catcher.
Yeah, Steve-O's done a really nice job behind the dish. And see Brady Singer struggling a little bit with his command. He's trying to land the perfect pitch.
Nowhere to put him. His 100th offering. Way wide. Ball 4. And Terry Francona doesn't really have a choice. Back-to-back bases loaded walks. He makes the move. 3 runs in, bases still full. Pitching change for the Reds.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Reds and Guardians. 5th inning, 3 runs in. Brady Singer chased after back-to-back bases loaded walks. An error began the inning. A should-be double play was not turned, and a fielder's choice allowed everyone to be safe. It's a bit of a bind for Caleb Ferguson. Patrick Bailey turns around to bat right-handed. He has walked grounded out. It was Ferguson who served as the opener in the Reds' shutout win, the nightcap yesterday. Skyline Chili called it the bullpen.
And did a really good job at the beginning of the game yesterday. Back-to-back nights. Post up.
Just low. Barely below the zone. Crack to right. Marte over. He got it. Tag at third. Strong throw goes to second. Sac fly RBI. It's 4-0.
Really nice play by Noelvi Marte. I didn't know if he was going to get there at first. This ball almost right down the line. It shows that speed we were talking about earlier. Gets to it fairly easily.
And now Petey Halpin, who has flied out twice. Laid on the fastball, strike 1. Cleveland club that has struggled to score, last in the bigs, averaging under 4 runs a game, has posted 4 runs this inning. Grounded at third, Hayes. Inning. All 9 come to the plate, 4 come home. Our Kia player profile, 4 strong from Joey Cantillo.
Yeah, Joey Cantillo did a really nice job of pitching on the inside part of the plate to those right-handed hitters. He threw enough pitches on the outside part to keep guys guessing, and he got through those 4 innings and pitched exceptionally well.
You cannot win it, but his team can. Second outing of the series, the first out of the bullpen is Colin Holderman.
A lot of sinkers and sweepers from Holderman.
He threw a perfect 7th against the top of the Reds order in Game 1 yesterday. Struck out De La Cruz, got a ground out from Sal Stewart, a line drive out from J.J. Bleday. Ke'Bryan Hayes has flied to center so far tonight. Popped up. Arias secures the first out. So now a couple of rematches, including De La Cruz, who has struck out looking and grounded out to third.
No, the line does not look good for Brady Singer. But things snowballed very quickly for him. I thought he was pitching exceptionally well today. Really establishing, he's really been good recently, establishing that fastball and the slider. Saw a lot of really, really good pitches, commanded well. And it all started with an error and a fielder's choice on a ball that should have been double play. You won't hear anything from him. He's a warrior. But defense failed him.
Top to second. Nice glove on a low skip. 2 down. Sal Stewart. Only 1 hit in that inning.
A couple walks, obviously.
Yep.
But as I said, it snowballed.
Front door curveball for a strike. And Cleveland plays most of its infield and its outfield deep here against Stewart. By far the rookie home run leader in the National League. Two and one. Now, Reds were down 4-0 out of the gate to begin the series, rallied to take a lead in that game, ultimately fell. But this time the deficit comes square in the middle of the ball game, not in the opening inning. Payoff. In the air left field, Kwan. Spend your Saturday night at the ballpark this weekend. Reds face the Pirates. Fans in attendance receive a Terry Francona bobblehead. Thanks to Alta Fiber. While supplies last, secure your seats now. Reds.com/tickets. Second Reds reliever into the game tonight, Chase Petty.
Just looking at Chase Petty's numbers. Over 12 relief appearances this year so far. He's got a 3 ERA. Not so good as a starter, but certainly as a reliever. Totally different guy.
Goes at the hitters in the zone. First pitch fastball for a strike to Quan, who's been on twice. Base hit, he's reached on error. Lined out, he has scored a run. That changeup has been a spectacular equalizer for Petty.
I think about Lyon Richardson when Lyon was here, and he was here at first, and then he went to the minor leagues. When he was up here, he was throwing so many changeups, he kind of lost his fastball.
Center field, Myers.
And I feel like Chase Petty went through that same kind of maturation process as I saw with Lyon Richardson. Difference being that Chase Petty has that 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and he's still using it as opposed to just going to the off-speed pitches.
Now the always dangerous Jose Ramirez, 1 for 3. He is lined out, reached on fielder's choice, scored a run. Well wide. Cleveland has Franco Aliman up in its bullpen. He was a tough matchup for the Reds yesterday. Tough matchup for pretty much everybody. Oh, Ramirez collapses down in pain, swinging at that pitch that came down and in. And a signal to an athletic trainer from Tyler Stevenson, who taps Ramirez on the hip. He is flexing that left leg. Check it right around the knee there.
Right on the outside of that back knee. I don't know if I've seen that before. Jose Ramirez lets the ball get awfully deep. Ouch.
And only recently returned from a hamate bone injury that cost him a month and a half. Elected not to go on a rehab assignment. As soon as he was healthy, he wanted to go right back into the fray in regular season games. One-two.
Now, a more veteran pitcher would have thrown the next pitch right where the last one was. Knowing good and well, Jose Ramirez not going to even think about swinging it.
That goes back to your point earlier about the relative rarity of pitchers in today's game throwing in.
Yep. You said a word right there, throwing in. And I'm going to say a different word, pitching in. Because it's not just for effect. It's to get the hitter out. Right in there.
Appeal, no go.
The idea, just the execution. And I think that's just the difference at the big league level. Everyone has an idea of how to play the game of baseball.
Left field, Johnson coming on. Can't get there. Ramirez turns but holds. Throw in. Bounces away from De La Cruz. Now Ramirez takes off. It trickles into foul ground. Ramirez turning. He's trying for three. Stewart's throw. Way. A flare would-be base hit turns into 3 bags.
Jose Ramirez once again showing why he's the all-star that he is. Flare down the left field line. Possible base hit. Always hustling. Sees the ball get away. Ellie De La Cruz short hop. Ball gets away from him. And then Sal Stewart trying to back it up. Throwing to second base, and defense is important.
Single E7. Ball 1 to DeLauder. So now it's a speedy runner 90 feet away with 1 out. Infield modified in. DeLauder base hit, a walk, a run scored. Way 3-0. Four-pitch walk. Men of the corners for Bazzana. Couple of hits tonight. Uribe his last time when he went opposite way in the 5th. Later scored.
One of the next steps they're looking for Petty to make is more swing and miss. Sure, they would love to have soft contact first couple of pitches, but he has not shown the consistent ability to get swing and miss. This is the type of situation where he needs it.
Yes, exactly right. How does he achieve that?
Well, it's going to have to be some kind of deception off of the heater. I mean, he throws 96, 97 miles an hour. So the changeup would be the pitch. If he could develop a split, that would be nice as well. But it's going to have to be something off that fastball.
Two one. Bounce foul. Called strike 3. Our champion Windows pitch tracks.
That's a good pitch. No swing, but a punch out. Nice little slider.
Last year it was the slider that got the whiffs for Petty. This year he's getting some with the changeup and the sweeper. Brian Rocchio 0 for 3, struck out his last time. Rocchio around this stage, maybe yesterday's action, squared to bunt at one point in an at bat. Later in that same AB, dropped it down.
Next pitch.
Got the runner in from third base. Throw to first, nearly got away. Well, what a corral job there by Sal Stewart to hop up and extend. Runner off from first. Pitch, swing, and miss. Feigned throw. Steal of second. DeLauder in scoring position. It's a 4-run game now. Second and third, 2 down, 2 strikes. Bounced right side. Penny over to cover. Stewart the low scoop. Got him. We'll step aside. Reds down 4. It's Reds TV from Bar S.
Search Fox 19 now.
The Reds and avocados from Peru have teamed up for a chance to win a new 2026 Toyota Tacoma SR or Reds VIP experience. To enter, scan the QR code in your screen to register at reds.com/AvoReds. And be sure to also follow at Avos from Peru on Instagram. Another pitching change, second straight day. The Reds face Franco Aleman.
The last time they saw Aleman, he was nasty. 2 innings pitched, punched out 5.
It was a career high. First pitch got Dane Myers right around the hand or wrist.
I was wondering if he was staying there because that ball possibly hit the bat, or if he's just trying to let the pain go away.
But he went right outside that left hand, kind of up the pinky. Leadoff man on. Eugenio Suarez. Base hit began the 4th. He snapped it 0 for 13. He is also struck out looking. Appeal. He went. In the air, long run. DeLauder, no play. It was the Reds that blanked Cleveland yesterday. The Reds' 7th shutout win. Held the Guardians to 3 hits. Cleveland shut out 3 of its last 4 offensively, but tonight so far the Reds have not yet cracked the scoreboard, getting 4 hit. Strike 3. Both backward Ks for Gino have been inner on the edge strikes.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Talked about the 5 punch outs from Aleman yesterday. Looks like that ball might have been off a little bit, but that is nasty. 96 with a sink. Got a 6'6" guy out there just slinging it.
He had the funk of the hiccup he has and that twist and pause. That's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
Stevenson has struck out. He walked 10-pitch walk. Came last time up. Up and in. Smell that one. Into center field. Down for a base hit. Myers turns and holds. Throw to second. He's back in. Alpin's got a strong arm, too.
A slider that stayed right there. That's the pitch you want to sit on. That one just sits on a tee for Steve-O. Really nice compact swing right back up the middle.
A 2 on for Noelvi Marte. Line to left his last time. Stephen Kwan was one-footed, slightly off balance. He made that catch out near the wall, but Marte hit at nearly 100. He's also struck out. Chopper. Past the dive of Rocchio. Myers rips around third. Halpin throw to the plate is late. A leaping stab by Bailey. Base hit. Noelvi Marte and the bouncer spoils the shutout. It's 4-1.
Really nice job by Noelvi Marte. Aleman throwing that sinker. So that was a four-seam fastball. We've seen this ball, when it's on the ground, has a tendency to be very bouncy. And that's going to chase Aleman.
Well, Stephen Vogt asks for the ball. We have a pitching change for Cleveland.
Introducing Subway's new
Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by Chili's Big Crispy 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you could eat, and by Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. A beautiful baseball sky. Reds have a run. It's 4-1. They have chased Franco Aleman, have only got one out. A run in, 2 on. Here is lefty Eric Sabrowski.
And I think Stephen Vogt thinks that he's better suited with these lefties on the mound. He brought the right-hander in and just woke up the offense after the hit by pitch.
And 0-2 on the switch hitting Ivan Johnson, who has struck out twice. Sabrowski came to Cleveland, minor league Rule 5 from the Padres. That was before the 22 season. Miss away. From Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. 28 years old. Sword, strike 3. Just a batter in, you can see why, but he gets a lot of strikeouts. He also has command issues. He walks a lot of dudes. And when Arroyo base hit his first career big league steal, he's also struck out. Appeal no go. Even Arroyo pointed down. He was so confident he did not go. Go ahead, check it. Just like the starter, Joey Cantillo, another lefty who works extreme third base side.
As I said, I think Stephen Vogt is thinking we had a lot of success with Cantillo. Lefty that does. sit right on the inside part of the plate. There's another pitch. In on the hands of a right-handed hitter.
Time for Arroyo, whose last 11 hits have all been singles. His last extra base hit came July 8th, a double against the Phillies. A run in, 2 on, 2 out, 2 strikes. Struck him out. The Reds get a run. Chase Petty, just a few days ago, we learned more about some of his sports tattoos. Let's take a day break and learn about the ink on his back.
All right, Chase, I know growing up, Japanese history was how you and your siblings bonded, depicted very well on a major tattoo on your back. Can you explain the meaning?
Yeah. So on my back, I have my tattoo artist illustrative depiction of Miyamoto Musashi versus Kojiro Sasaki. Their duel on my back. It's one of the most famous duels in Japanese history. And really what inspired my, kind of fascination on Miyamoto Musashi was his book that he wrote, the Book of Five Rings. And just the way he thinks about, just everyday life, his thought of strategy, the way that he goes about, just training and being so just on top of everything that you do in life, the small things especially, and just how they can go about making your life 1% better. It just really stuck with me, and so now I'm actually reading a manga, which is basically a Japanese graphic novel about Miyamoto Musashi, and kind of an off basic story of like his life and stuff. And I just really grown intrigued and interested in his life, the way that he lived, and everything about him, and I felt like that was a cool thing to get on my back, and so that's what we did.
Can you take that philosophy to the mound with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just every breath, every pitch, it means something in that moment. So, just going there one step at a time, one pitch at a time, and just being there in the moment and not thinking too far ahead, not thinking about the past. I mean, that was kind of one of his biggest philosophies, is just staying in the moment and, just using everything that you've had in your past and your experiences and bringing them to this moment.
A kind thanks to Chase for sharing.
Insightful.
That's really cool.
Yeah, super cool. It's interesting, the interest of all the baseball players. Obviously, there's a commonality that we're all professional athletes or baseball players and whatever, but guys have their things. I remember talking to Jonathan India about flowers one day. All right, he was very interested and had tattoos on his body representative of some of the interests that he has. You have any tattoos, Sean?
No.
If you did, with your interests, what would that be?
See, that's a great question. Kyle Manzardo 0 for 2 as the bases loaded walk. That's part of why I don't have any. I have a lot of interests, but I can't think of something that I know I'd still want 5 years from now, 20 years from now, however long I'm granted to be in this world. I'm not opposed to the idea, and I think tattoos that have hefty meaning to the owner are beautiful and wonderful. I have a hard time pinning down what that would be for me that I know I'd feel right being with me forever.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I thought the only thing that I would possibly do, well, my grandmother asked me to not get a tattoo early in my life, and I told her I would not, so I do not have any tattoos, but would probably do something with family.
Yeah. Full count, 3-2. Jim, you got any ink down there?
None.
Now, what kind of ink would Jim Day? You were a tattoo artist, and he came to see you. It's all right, John. You know my personality. What are you going to scratch on it?
See, I think I would have Jim just standing there.
You would have a tattoo of Jim?
Yes. A tattoo of Jim on Jim.
Oh, my.
Manzardo lifts deep right. and gone. Solo shot for Manzardo is 13th. He's probably playing his way into the mop right now. It's 5-1.
Yeah, that's a decent call. It's a sinker. Came in at 96 miles an hour. And that is an outstanding swing. That just unloaded on that ball. Left at 104. 425 feet.
Just fair. Johnson after it. Arias up to second. And he shuts it down there. That came awfully close to Mike Estabrook umpiring down that line.
I think it almost hit the bag as well. And I think this ball is right down the line. Yes, it is. Right. It did hit the bag. Yep.
Back-to-back extra base hits. Julian Garcia's up in the Reds pen. Patrick Bailey, first pitch. Hangs to Myers. Now, seriously, Jim, I would think I could see you getting something NASA-related or space-related. That's one of your passions, right?
I am a space nerd, yes. It would, yeah, possibly like an Apollo 11 rocket.
Not a Constellation or...
No, it would be...
Big Dipper.
It would be that Saturn V rocket.
I mean, Jim knows, you know, a lot of the, like the radio communication, right? That the astronauts have had. Crack to left by Halpin. Stop sign at third. Johnson fires in. Cut by Hayes.
You're really trying to exploit my nerdism now. Yes.
I love it.
Yes. I've listened to several hours of audio transmissions, particularly from Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo. Those days.
I'm a space nerd, too. That's going to be all for Chase Petty. A lot of first pitch ambushes this inning. Garcia ready, and the Reds make a pitching change. Houston, Jim Day needs new ink.
Champion Windows and the Cincinnati Reds are teaming up to give you...
Reds down 5-1, seventh inning. Julian Garcia is in for the bullpen. Reds TV from Bar S. Bases top of the order, Stephen Kwan. Bunt yanked back. Ball one.
Oh, attempted safety squeeze again. You see Arias at third base. Just follow Key Brian Hayes down the line. Stephen Kwan went to go bunt. Bunt that ball to the third baseman. If he throws the bait to the first base.
Runner off from first as the first baseman crashes. Throw down is no shot. It's a great jump by Halpin, who steals second.
These are the small things that you do. You have two runners in scoring position. You're out of the double play. Infield's going to have to play in now.
Kwan calls time. Upstairs strike. In the air to center. Myers the call. Makes the catch, tag at third. Throw in. Cut by Stewart. Sack fly RBI. 6-1. Jose Ramirez. First pitch strike. Right-hander Matt Festa is up in the Cleveland pen. Ramirez 2 hits, a run scored. Ramirez entered this series with 3 hits since coming off the IL. He's got 4 hits in the set. One of the most underrated players of his time.
Yes, he is.
Bounce to first, Stewart on the backhand. Couple more for Cleveland. The Reds deficit at 5.
It's better with the group.
Don't miss a moment this season with Reds.TV, presented by Bar S. Stream the rest of the season in Reds territory for just $54.99. Watch games at home or on the go. Stay connected all year long. Subject to national exclusivities. Visit Reds.TV for details. Reds split at Twinville yesterday. Nap sounds good right now. It was a long day at the ballpark to begin the homestand in series. Tonight they need to rally to avoid their first series loss since the All-Star break. New man on the mound is Matt Festa. Brian Hayes has fly to center. He has popped to second. Festa got let go by Texas a couple of Augusts ago in 2024. He was released twice that year, 3 times in his career at that point. Injuries had ravaged him, and he had to build back up by himself. So he had no facility, he had no coaching staff. He did what he could. He went to public schoolyards in Brooklyn, New York. He threw against brick walls. Wow. Swing and a miss, strikes out Brian Hayes. He found childhood friends who never played baseball, and he had them help him practice to get right to try to come back to pro ball. And here he is pitching in the big leagues.
It's a 4-pitch mix. It's a 4-seam fastball. It looks like he cuts it. A sweeper and a sinker.
Ellie De La Cruz, 0 for 3, strikeout, couple of ground outs.
It's incredible, that story. Everyone has their own path to the league. It's never easy for anyone.
Strike.
Pitch is called a strike. The batter's challenging.
Powered by T-Mobile. That is the strike.
The call is confirmed. Cincinnati has 1 challenge remaining.
Did he go? No. Broke his bat. Foul ball. Brief word now from UDF.
Every summer, we make peach ice cream with big chunks of peaches at our dairy. And every summer, it's gone. Just like that. So grab some peach before the summer's over.
Full count. Opposite way, Quan in steep retreat. Got it. Two down.
Well, he gave it a ride, and we've seen pitchers do this. Throw Elly breaking balls away. See how he stays down and threw that ball. I actually thought he got that one. We've seen Elly go way, way deep opposite barrel. This one just stayed in the ballpark.
Sal Stewart. Elly's got the fourth most opposite way homers in the big. Stewart's got the most. Sal today is singled his first time. He has since struck out Flydown. Strike two. Reds have been held to 6 hits, all singles. They have walked once and struck out 12 times. Swing and a miss.
That's so.
Our Toyota game summary. Cantillo was excellent. Brady Singer, official scoring change. It was 2 unearned. It's now all 4 unearned. And 4 runs in the 5th. Single error, fielder's choice. A flurry of walks. Reds down 6-1. What has stood out to you tonight?
Yeah, it's the defense. You know, I thought Brady Singer pitched well enough. Those 4 unearned runs. You see that play right there, John. There was almost a collision right there. Now, Edwin Arroyo is normally the shortstop. The shortstop goes in front. But you can see just instinctually, because he's played shortstop his entire career, he's going to this ball. He is not going to get out of the way of Elly De La Cruz until the very end. Now, there could have been a collision. Elly could have seen him. He could have pulled up. That could have led to another play that was not made. And it's just one of those things that you have to deal with. You can see right there, Elly made an adjustment because he saw he was right there. Very easily could have led to a misplay.
Does it come down to communication?
It does. It does, but you got to get reps, and that's the thing. I mean, there's really no way to avoid it. You got to go through it and make the mistakes to know what not to do. Right, you got to talk about it. You know, it's tough. That's why you just don't see it at this level that often. It just is what it is. You figure when guys get to the big leagues, they are a position. They play a position. It's tough when you got a shortstop playing at second base. It's just certain things are going to happen.
Swing and a miss. Pizana struck out by Julian Garcia. So now Rocchio, who is 0 for 4, including a strikeout. Hunter Gaddis is up in the Cleveland pen. Yeah, Matt McLean, also a native shortstop who moved over to second base. Is that just a player-to-player thing that some can transition?
Yes, it certainly is. And Matt has had experience in playing with Elly, number 1.
Right.
I think that's the big thing. You have to understand, when you play with a guy like Elly, he has so much range. It affects you, and it should affect your positioning. And always you're going to be aggressive, but you're also aware that Ellie covers just about everywhere. So you know that the ball is hit 3 steps to your right, he's probably going to be there to get that ball. And I think Matty is much more comfortable in a scenario like that.
Driven to the gap, gets to the wall. Stand-up double for Rocchio. Yeah, remember, part of the different dynamic for them when they first got to the big leagues in somewhat uneven fashion, separated by 3 weeks, a month maybe. Ellie was at third base for a stretch, and McLean was at shortstop.
Right.
That was when Jonathan India was still with the Reds and a mainstay at second base. Now Manzardo, who has 2 ribbies today, solo shot and a bases loaded walk. Bottom of the zone strike. Runner fakes, pitch misses. StatCast 3D. The 2 shots this series for Manzardo. Google Cloud.
Yeah, well, he certainly has his name in the hat for the MOP award. He's had him a couple of really good days.
In the dirt. So Manzardo with 4 homers now on the series, the season series, in the overall Ohio Cup, including the mid-May matchup in Cleveland. (3-1). Rides in. He's on base. He's also been on base at, I think, just about a 500 rate on the season-long Ohio Cup. A 2 on. Arias has 2 hits and a bases-loaded walk. He had the double off the bag at third his last time. Big cut of the sweeper, strike 1. Reds in the home half go 3-4-5. Myers, Suarez, Stevenson. Blocked by Stevenson. According to Baseball Savant, the official advanced stats of MLB, the #1 blocking catcher in the game right now,
Tyler Stevenson.
That's right.
Good for him. I remember a couple of spring trainings ago, they were talking to him about whether or not he was going to continue to catch in this organization, whether he was going to be the guy. And I think he took that personally and really made some changes, made himself into the best.
Fly ball out to right. Garcia strands a couple. It's Skyline time at GABP. Join the Reds tomorrow. They take on the Pirates. You can purchase a special ticket package. It includes an exclusive Reds and Skyline Chili co-branded cap. Get tickets now. Reds.com/specials. Who better to model the lid you can get? The ruggedly handsome Ron Millenor. Yes. Take a look.
Known as Rufus. Absolutely.
And Rufus, a big fan of Skyline himself. You can catch him West Side Skyline very often. Are you going 3-way, 4-way, 5-way? 4-way
with beans.
There we go. That could be yours. Thank you, Rue. He's a vital part of Reds TV. First time he's been on camera in the booth.
Nice. He's got some big shoes to fill. Jesse Jackson.
Institutional legend. Also a vital part of Reds TV for decades. And the first man enshrined the Wall of Fame right outside of the hallway here.
Yes, indeed.
Hunter Gaddis is in.
Slider, slider, sliders. A lot of sliders from Hunter Gaddis. We saw him yesterday. 47% of his pitches are sliders. Change up in the four-seam fastball.
Wide. Dane Myers on twice. Base hit by pitch, has scored the Reds' lone run. It's a .270 on the year. He is the Reds' leader in on-base percentage on the season. 3-2. On again.
We mentioned when we were talking about Dane Myers early in the broadcast, just very quietly and consistently getting on base, making things happen. Obviously, the great catch in yesterday's ball game. He's earned himself some playing time.
And Myers has been more than willing to give up the body to make plays. He had to miss a little bit of time after he suffered that AC joint injury, that great catch in Milwaukee. This is what he did yesterday for the final out to seal it.
Yeah, it was really a great catch. And that final shot right there really doesn't give him the credit that he's due. Obviously making contact with that wall, but he went a long way to track that ball down and then timed his jump perfectly and make contact with that wall. It was a great play.
Tyler Stevenson base hit his last time. He's also walked. Pirates will be in town starting tomorrow. Four-gamer gets underway tomorrow night. Stevenson lifts. Manzardo on the back pedal. Brief word now from Big Sandy Superstore.
This summer, sleep cooler for less at Big Sandy Superstore. Your headquarters for luxury mattresses. Big Sandy Superstore.
The Pirates fell today to the Diamondbacks 3-0. Reds need to rally, looking for a fourth straight series win.
Where are we at in the standings now, John?
Well, at the day's start, it was 5 out in the wild card and 16.5 out in the division.
Division's over.
Swing and miss for Marte. Ribby hit his last time.
Really good changeup.
The really challenging part, though, Lark, is how many teams are between the Reds and a wild card spot. And that's what makes the math hard. As the Diamondbacks began the day in that third spot, a game up on Pittsburgh and Washington, beat the Pirates head-to-head. Pirates had a chance to win that season series and own a tiebreak. They did not. They split on the year with Arizona. Lifted right side. The Lauder coming in. But you include that third spot between the Reds and the third wild card: Arizona, Pittsburgh, Washington, San Diego, Miami, and St. Louis.
Oh boy.
Hey, Chris.
Probables for Reds and Pirates. Rhett Lauder against Johan Ramirez tomorrow. Hunter Green against Paul Skeens. That's an earlier start time. The Marshmallow Concert It's a 6:10 first pitch on Friday. Abbott and Burns go on Saturday and Sunday. Pirates will be in the midst of 17 straight days with a game. It'll be day 7 tomorrow. O'Neal Cruz just started to get the authorization to resume baseball activities. He's been out for a long time. Here's Johnson.
We were talking about that wild card and being behind so many different teams. 2 teams I heard you mention. One was the Pirates, and the other was the Cardinals. Division foes. So the division may be out of reach, but in order to win the wild card, we're going to have to go through those teams. So let that be the motivation to making sure we take care of this next series against the Pirates. That's not a split.
Swing and miss. Johnson overpowers Patrick Bailey. Brings up Halpin, who is singled. He's 1 for 4. Grounded fair. Scoop by Stewart. Johnson's there.
Sal's made some really good plays at first base today. Seen a few balls right over those bags down the first and the third base line. Really nice job of leading those pitchers to the bag. He's got a good feel over there at first base, that's for sure.
All-star rookie, one of the heavy Rookie of the Year favorites. Strike 1 on Stephen Kwan. Is he your Rookie of the Year right now?
Of course he is. Absolutely. Get a chance to see this young man play every day.
In a right field base hit.
He's done everything. What has he not done? He's hit for average. He's hit for power. He's been clutch. He's stolen bases. He's beat it up. There isn't anything that he has not done this rookie season.
And even beyond his rookie peers, he is one of the elite run producers in the sport this year.
That's right.
Jose Ramirez. Double barrel in the Cleveland pen. Lefty Tim Herron and right-handed closer Cade Smith. Even in a 5-run game. Oh, 2. And on deck to hit for Chase DeLauder is Angel Martinez, who made the diving catch to end game 1. Cleveland's win that started yesterday's doubleheader. It's bottom 3rd for the Reds, bottom 9. Johnson, Arroyo, and Hayes are due up. The bench of Lowe, Friedel, Blade, and Trevino. Right to Marte. The Park at the Boone, Reds are down 6-1. Try to rally. Their bench will be part of it. Cleveland also making some subs. Closer Cade Smith is in to pitch.
Well, not a closing situation, but an opportunity to nail down this game. So you go with the closer. Try to get out of here with a series win.
Angel Martinez has entered the game in right field. Straight switch for DeWater. J.J. Bleday pinch hits for Ivan Johnson. Bleday homered in the Reds' win last night. He also had the falling fast contact that Martinez snared to end game 1. That was a Guardians 1-run win. Right now the Reds need base runners, and a lot of them. Upstairs strike. Reds do have a challenge. Look to be just high. 2-2. Bleday stays alive. Looks like Nathaniel Lowe has a helmet on, bat on his shoulder, down to the dugout. Bleday lays off a split, full count. I would assume he would hit for Ke'Bryan Hayes. Edward Arroyo is on deck. Bleday walks. Fourth time tonight the Reds have put their leadoff man on. Only one has come home so far. Edward Arroyo is singled, stole a bag. He has struck out twice. Bleday not held on. 0-1. Lowe is indeed on deck to hit for Hayes. Fouled back. Smith has only been tagged with more than one run 3 times all year. At Dodger Stadium, opening set of the season, and twice in Chicago against the White Sox, same series back in late June. That's it. Every other outing has been no more than a run.
He's having trouble throwing strikes tonight. So far, been patient.
Payoff. In the air, center field, Halpin. Brief word now from Miami Valley Gaming.
Get ready to get lucky at MVG. With over 2,200 of the best gaming machines, we got you covered.
So now Lowe stands in to hit for Hayes. Three straight multi-hit games for Lowe entering today. Counted in, ball 1. Called a strike. ABS. Will he grant it? Time. I think Lance Barrett said he waited too long to hit the helmet.
Just that little bit of delay. They do not grant it. It's got to be immediate.
So now 2 down. Top of the order, Ellie De La Cruz, 0 for 4. Day fakes, ball 1. Day goes, miss, ABS.
The catcher's challenge on the pitch.
Defensive indifference for Blade. ABS powered by T-Mobile. That's a ball.
The call is confirmed. Cleveland's out of challenge.
Reds do have a challenge. 2-1. Kelly is on. 2 aboard for Sal Stewart. Veteran pitching coach Carl Willis walks out. Earlier they had lefty Tim Herron warming with Smith. It looks like another arm will get up now. And it's Herron once again. Now Stewart is singled. He's 1 for 4. These two matched up game 1 yesterday. Stewart worked a full count and a walk from Keith Smith. Right at him with a strike. Oh, 2. That's your ball game. Cleveland comes to Cincinnati, takes 2 of 3, and wins back the Ohio Cup. 7 Cleveland pitchers tamed the Reds to 1 run. It's a 6-1 final.
Well, obviously not a lot of offense today, and you certainly have to give the Cleveland pitching staff credit for that. But Brady Singer pitched pretty well today. The defense just did not make the plays behind him. A lot of confusion. Not clean baseball today. Well, you got a Pittsburgh team that you got to beat. It's a 4-game set. Their splits do you no good anymore. You got to win at least 3 out of 4, if not sweep them.
Kyle Manzardo, 4 home runs on the season series against the Reds, anointed the most outstanding player of this year's Ohio Cup, hit .370, had a triple, drove in 9 runs. Post game still to come. 6-1 your final. Reds fall to the Guardians. The Cup